Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Bishop, the Tier 5 British SPG. It's located on the northwest spawn of Sand River, and this one is under the command of Chickens 1003 of the Arty Party. Now he's actually in platoon with TS Sammy and the Wolverine just alongside him, so he's going to be acting as his spotter, I suspect. Game on. 4.5-inch howitzer, same gun you find on the FP304 and also on the Crusader 5.5-inch SP. Now it's capable of doing 550 alpha and penetrating 28mm of armor with a 2.2 meters burst radius. The shell tends to go straight up and almost straight down on the enemy, and it's based on the hull of a Valentine II, the same Valentine that went to the Soviets. Now he's decided to go a little further on, and I think he asked for help because he wanted to be pushed so he could get closer to the enemy. Now there's a little spot there on the right which he could go to, which would actually be quite an advantageous spot. He tried a bit of a snap on that AMX, didn't work, and the AMX has actually got help as well. A Mitsu 108. Now he can hit that guy, and he does with his first shot. Okay, so he's happy about that, but unfortunately we lost the ELC, got taken out by the enemy guerrilla, and now we need to deal with this ELC, otherwise we're in trouble. But he fires snap, and I think that may have been close. But he's decided to be cautious and pull back behind this rock, so he can still get shots on the ELC, but not get spotted by them. Okay, looks a good spot. You can move up to that spot on the right over there, but if you do, you might get spotted by the ELC if he comes forward. And he is there. There we go. Wait for it. Fired a bit late. Yes, you do need to fire a bit in advance. Takes a little while for the shell to get there. He's going straight up and coming down. Oh, he's trying to move the wreck, and he gets wiped out. That's a penetrating shot right into the rear of the ELC. So he got a kill from that ELC. So that will make the other ELC driver on his own team happy. But he's now being shot at from behind by the Panzervier Anku. That's the Japanese premium tank based on the Panzervier Ausrung H with the whiny Japanese girls. I think that was more of a warning than anything. And yes, he has been seen by the Mitsu. But the Mitsu can't get him for the moment, but the Gorilla will be able to get him. And more than likely, the fact that he's still spotted, or was spotted, means that the Gorilla will fire this way. Gets a nice hit. I think that was a Gorilla shell landed just behind him. You can see the crater. Let's go for another shot, this time on the KV. And he gets another hit. Now, the Gorilla's probably going to try again on the same spot on the basis that Arty don't tend to move too far from the last firing position, but they ought to. And I think he might get a rude awakening if that Gorilla lands nearby. Well, they got rid of that killer. And now he's moving further along the valley. Now, this might work because that Churchill's decided to go into the town instead. A nice shot on the engine deck, 185. Good shot. Saw a documentary about the Churchill today. Very interesting tanks, actually. Rouse out. Splash there. Yes, I had a very low opinion of the Churchills until I saw the documentary. And now I actually think they are good tanks after all. Started with a poor reputation, but they've now ended actually as a much better tank than most people thought it was, because it was fairly difficult to kill. Apparently the Germans had a lot of trouble trying to wipe out Churchills at the Battle of El Alamein, because they had Panzer IVs and Panzer IIIs and other German tanks shooting at the Churchills, and the shells kept bouncing off. Those are 75mm shells, and they were bouncing off the Churchill's armour. Apparently, one Churchill driver actually got out of his tank to have a look at the front of it. Oh, he got the kill. Got out of his tank to have a look at the front of the vehicle and there was a shell had landed directly through or onto the view device, or rather the hatch that goes over his viewport, and it hadn't penetrated. It was dead center of the viewport, but the metal stopped the shell and it never went through. So it must have been very frustrating for the Germans. They were getting extremely accurate hits and the shells weren't having any effect upon the Churchills at all. Rounds out. Lovely shot there. 75, got the front of him. Now, can we do another one to keep him tracked? Wait for it. It's the good thing about the Bishop. Short reload. When he got another hit, and he might still be there, but more than likely he's going to fix his track and get back into cover. Yes, the only bad thing about the Churchills, they said, as they showed on the program, was that the inner mantlets, the mantlets on the Churchill, it's not outside the tank, it's inside the tank. And that means that when they were being hit, the little hole inside the turret that actually acts where the mantlet is would act as a shot trap, and rounds, bullets, machine gun bullets, shells, whatever, would go inside the shot trap and they would fall inside the tank. So you get lots of bits of metal flying around the inside of the tank from shells that managed to make its way into that shot trap. Oh, that was a direct hit! And he wiped out the T-67 with a blind hit. The guy moved where you saw the wreck appear, but it was a direct hit on target. Nicely done. So 4 kills now for Chicken. He's enjoying this. And he should, because he's actually very good at it. Now, we just need somebody to find that IKV-103. And the enemy Guerrilla's been spotted. I'm not sure. He might just be in range. He is in range. Okay, this is going to be fun. Rounds out. Wasn't fully dialed in, but it's still a hit. 211. He will go down with the next shot. He just adjusted to get it perfect. Rounds out. This is a kill. And it is. But not to him. The kill goes to the Wolverine, who happens to be a bot. Oh, dear. And that's not his platoon mate either, because his platoon mate died a while back. So now we're going for the 103, and he's up on top of that hill. We know where he is. And there's a hit and kill. And that's 5. There's only 2 enemy left, and they're actually up in the hills. So he's going to have to motor if he wants to get a piece of them and get that Top Gun. I don't suggest that he heads for the village, though. Not for directly for this tune here. I know he wants to get as close as he can, but if he goes to the village, he's safe. But if he goes for this tune, there's a chance that the enemy might come through the gap, see him, and try and kill him. It's the AEC. So he's going to have to try and nail a light tank. It's actually a medium tank by the this thing. Oh, there they are. Okay, so he has gone the right way. Fires his first round in. Goes for the church. Gets a hit. 160. AEC pulls back. He's going to come the other way. He doesn't realise there's somebody coming up the other way. And this is directly for the engine deck. Yes, he gets it. 202. The next shot could give him a Top Gun if he can get it on target. Rounds out. Yes! That's a Top Gun. So 6 kills here for Chickens 1003. He's still trying to nail the last one, and he gets him. And he wins the game with the last shot. Well done. Guns up. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Chickens 1003 and the Bishop. He certainly earned it in this one because he got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 21. He got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall, and he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he ended up one short of getting a Radley's with 7 kills in that game by nailing the AEC right at the end. His win rate from the game, 16,186, which is super unicum and a lot more Let's have a look at team score. Well, he got 3,207 hit points of damage to get the high caliber. Second highest scorer was the Panzervier Ausrung H Anjou, who got 1,512, and that was the guy who shot him in the back to try and give him a warning to pull back. He got the second highest damage. Third highest damage went to the Cavalier on his team with 1,474. And the highest scorer on the enemy team was their IKV 103. Yes, there were bots in the game because it was on the NA server, so sometimes there are bots at certain times. When it came to kills, yep, he got the highest number of those, 7 kills to Chickens. 2 kills went to the KV 222, 222 rather I should say, on his own team, and on the enemy team, the Gorilla managed to get 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, he's one of only 2 players to get over 1,000 base. He managed 1,216, and the Panzervier H, Ausstellung H, Anjou managed 1,002. So only just over 1,000, but it was enough. And the third place, well, that was the KB222, who managed 779. He fired 29 rounds in the game, so he still had plenty spare. 20 direct hits on the enemy, 3 penetrating shots, and 20 splash. 2 of the kills were actually from the penetrating shots, and I think if I remember correctly, one of them was the AMX CLC. Yep, that's correct. The other one, yes, was the T67. Look at that, 470 hit points in total. He didn't penetrate the AUC at the end, or the Churchill, even though he did get a lot of hit points off them. And he did penetrate the IKB 103 with that second shot, I think it was the one that completely wiped him out. He also managed to get 3,207 hit points of damage, of which 1,527 hit points was at close, more than 300 meters. So a fair amount of damage, over 1,700 at close range. And some of those guys were coming down the riverbed towards him, and all he had was that big rock directly in front of him to protect him. 11 enemy vehicles were damaged, 7 were killed, 648 hit points of damage assistance. And he earned a profit of 45,127 credits from the game and 1,824 experience on a premium account as well. So, yes, he says an insane bishop game. It was a very risky one, especially when he got spotted towards the start of the game, because I felt sure that the Gorilla on the enemy team, was going to try and take him out. And he did fire 1 round in Chicken's direction. You could see the impact crater directly behind him as he pulled back. But luckily that guy gave up on trying to nail Chickens, and that actually gave Chickens the opportunity to take out all the other remaining campers on the enemy team, most of whom were staying near the enemy cap area. And finally, what a shot to get those 2 last enemy tanks, not only to get the Top Gun, but also to get just 1 short of a Radley's in a Bishop. Yes, I've seen it done in a 105 FH 18B2, but it's very rare to see 8 kills in a Bishop. So if you do have 8 kills in a Bishop, yes, you've scored something quite special indeed. Hope you enjoyed this replay. I know most of you love games or replays with a Bishop, and we will try to get you as many as we can. But thanks very much to Chickens for sending this one in. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because the algorithm likes to go nom nom. And thank you for watching.